So, morning guys, welcome to the channel. Early start for me this morning. Um, Conditions are not easy. We've got some easterly wind. The wind has dropped off, thank God. So we're going to get that at our back. We're fishing today, by the way, and going to concentrate on those areas where I know if they're fishing a spot, this is a spot that they'll congregate at the bottom of the tide. So rather than do one long session, I'm going to do two short sessions. So one over on this side of the river this morning and another over on the other side of the river tomorrow morning. So really good chance at good sea trout this time of year. So for that job, I'm relying on these guys. That's the 12 gram P-Boy. I know they're a little bit expensive, but they're worth it. Like, they really are worth it. They just fish so much better than any other metal I've ever fished. Well, let me get it out and show you why. Like, they're just so slim and the action on them is so subtle, you know. But I mean, it's just absolutely perfect for the job in hand, right? So I'm gonna try that in 3 different colors. Now normally, if I was better prepared, in fairness, I would have a single on the back of that, and B, a couple more split rings, because I do think if I hook a big sea trout I'm going to be in trouble. He's going to throw me. But anyway, so that's it in sand eel. You can see it's just gorgeous little imitation of a sand eel. And then we've good old-fashioned silver. So fished on the right rod, a 12 gram metal jig will cut through any wind. Like, I mean, it'll go like stink, right? So I'm going to be fishing 9 foot medium light, medium Labrax for a 16-pound braid. Might get down as low as 12-pound fluoro, just depends. I'm not sure what the ground is like up there this year because I haven't fished it yet. Haven't had much chance to do much fishing, to be honest. I've been so busy just getting everything organised, and then this whole Brexit headache, which I finally have gotten to the bottom of. So I've managed to find a guy who's going to help me to pay the VAT on my end. So my products are going to end up being the same price in the UK as they are as any UK products. The only extra you'll be picking up is the postage or whatever. So it'll make me competitive in the UK as well. And when you got in a market as small as Ireland, that means a lot to me, right? So here's a little trick. I'm going to be obviously going to fish the X layer quite a bit, but what I do is I just mix them up, right? So I'll bring a couple of, that's a couple of IUs, bring a shrimp minnow, 500G. I've got some Wakasaji in there as well, and some French Wakasaji, right? Just to see, you know, because you never know, right? You never know what they're in the humor for, what could induce a fish to take. I haven't put these on the site yet, but just due to lack of time, really, and of course there's the bereavement in the family this week, so I've been really busy with that. But I'm going to give these guys a good old fish today, the Mobo Crawl. Those are from Fish Us. Those will be going up there later on tonight. So I'm going to fish those on like a batchy, 7 gram batchy, maybe a 10 gram batchy, because I'm fishing in a distance really, and give them a good old squish of the estuary scent. The other bait I think that is really got the potential to do very well, because there's still a lot of little sprat and small bait fish and small mullet and all sorts still in the water. And then there's the small sea trout themselves, the big bass like to feed on, is that little guy. That's the 4.5 inch fish roller. Again, going to be fished on a batchy head or one of the Evo heads, or maybe even give it a try on the new Duo Bay Rough head, right, to give it that bit of zigzag, a bit of action, because I think that split tail, if it's zigzagging through the water, it'll look incredibly good. So just going to check a few things out. I'll have the head cam on me, so I'll be able to show you what they look like in the water. Here's another bait and got a bit of faith in for today, just for trotting down the channel, right? So it's the Mad Shad 100. I showed you this a couple of times. I think it's just a really underrated bait, like, you know, just because it's not weedless or whatever. Don't have to worry about weed this time of year. Just get it out there and let it run down, let it just bang along the bottom. It's just going to boom, 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 boom. Or fish it straight retrieve or sink and draw, whichever way. And then, of course, we'll give that a good run out too, right? So that's the Fantastic from Raid. I really got high hopes for that lure this year. I think it's going to do really well. Of course, all of those have been stored in my clear ultimate pouch, so I'm not going to have any hassle finding them or having the client to find his lures or whatever. So yeah, like what I would say to you is, don't let the easterly wind put you off. It's a bit of an old wives' tale. It'll kill some marks, but other marks fish better in an easterly. Like we have ground here that fishes its absolute socks off in an easterly. Now the only problem I have is I'm not fishing much yet, so I don't know what it's like over there, so I'm relying on somebody else to let me know. So what I've done is I've just waited a day, let the weather settle for a day, and I'll go over there tomorrow morning. But certainly I think we have a good chance of bumping into fish today, but definitely tomorrow we've got a really good chance of bumping into some fish. And if you bump into fish where I'm going tomorrow, they are solid fish. Like we stopped fishing one spot because we were losing so many fish into the kelp, right? They were just too strong. You couldn't hold them, right? And once they buried in the kelp, they were gone. And then you were like, oh Jesus Christ, they just snapped off in a huge big fish and he's got a lure stuck in them. And we were just like, okay, we just stopped fishing it, because we were fishing it at low water back up, right? But I was talking to somebody from over that way, and he fishes that, he's been fishing that ground 20-25 years or whatever, and he says they're actually, and I had fished it right the way to the top of the tide and kept catching fish, but he said they're there actually from the top of the tide. What they're doing is they're just moving up and down all the time, so you just gotta wait. So the approach this time will be fishing from the top of the tide down, right? And that way you've got 100 yards or so before they can hit that kelp, and you'll be able to stop them, right? Turn them or whatever. But that'll be a case of beefing up the leaders a little bit, beefing up the rods a bit, because I've seen some colossal fish come out of that mark. I mean, 13.5 pounds. I mean, I want to see this thing. It's an absolute pig of fish. Like, I mean, if in the photo the chap is holding it like that because he can't hold it out. Like, it's just incredible. So yeah, so yeah, hopefully now we'll hit a few fish today, and it'll be a bit of fun either way. And look, this Brexit thing is just a nightmare, you know what I mean? I'm a fisherman, not a businessman. I wasn't prepared for all of this hassle over import duties and VAT and da. I thought it would just all be seamless. I didn't even think about it, actually, to be honest with you. Coupled with the fact that I have a neurological condition which makes numbers incredibly difficult for me to deal with. A guy with a PhD in statistics who can't deal with numbers anymore. Incredible, isn't it? You know, and then you get people who tell you, oh no, COVID wasn't real. I'll tell you what, it certainly was very real for me. But I have actually got on top of it, right? Because what we're going to manage to do is get in place a system where I'll pay the VAT on my end, right? So you won't pay any extra then. All you'll pay is the postage or whatever, and a small little import duty if you go over 135 Great British pounds or whatever. So we're going to get that system put in place ASAP. In the meantime, if you get hit with big duties, you know what to do. Just contact me, and we'll make it up to you on your next order or whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll find a way around it. Okay. Other than that, guys, tight lines. Yeah, it's great to be back up and running and in good shape. I woke up yesterday and my energy was at 96, which is just incredible. Like I've never hit numbers like those, you know. So tinnitus has gone away. You know, I very occasionally now get tinnitus. So I really am on the road to recovery. Like I know things have been a bit higgledy-piggledy, but you know, I was trying to do an awful lot, and that's typical of me, right? I don't just half do things. I go full on, bail into it full on. You know, run a YouTube channel, run a guidance service, run a lure tackle shop. You know, it's just typical. Pat Gallagher all over, right? But yeah, look, we'll get everything figured out now. Now that I have some time and some energy, I certainly feel a hell of a lot better myself, you know. And it's gas. All it took was one visit to the right doctor, who said you actually have two conditions. One of them has gone totally untreated for 3 years, and once he treated that second condition, I suddenly started to just come up and up and up and up and up. Energy levels up through the roof, like so, which is fantastic, you know. I mean, I'd shut the business this morning and be happy, to be honest with you, because after 3 years of what I endured, just phenomenal. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, like you really wouldn't, you know. And I know there's some other really good fishermen out there who are still struggling post COVID, like, you know, who are still finding it hard to find the energy to get up and night fish, to fish the way they used to fish, you know. I think the truth is nobody knows what that goddamn thing did to us, like, you know. So, but anyway, we'll stay positive, you know. Going to be fishing some of the old classics. Definitely going to be fishing the feed shallow and stuff today. We'll try a bit top water. You know, we'll just have a look. We'll see, right? Have the glasses on, so if the trout are there, we'll be able to see them. So yeah, that's it. Wish us luck, and if you're out fishing yourself, tight lines, and thanks again for all your support and for your business. It's much appreciated. And as I say, going to build on the collection of metals that are in the shop. It's kind of the last thing I've got around to. You know, there's a massive selection of plastics and stuff, and the 6-inch spindle worms are on the way, by the way. They're coming in from France this week. But as a place to start, I mean, you just cannot go wrong with B-Boy Jig. I've just caught so many bass on these over the years, and they absolutely fly. They're just beautiful. It's the simplicity, you know. I think things, everybody's always trying to overcomplicate things. It does this, it does that, it does the other. Well, that does very little, except for flash and wobble a little bit. Come back pretty much in a straight line, and they love it. It's like bang. So yeah, well, we'll give them a good old run out today and see how we go. So I'm gonna have the GoPro and stuff with me, so hopefully we get any fish, you'll get to see a bit of action today. So tight lines, everyone, and once again, thanks for your support. We'll see you soon.